Yo, it's your man Jam C.
It's your favorite only African American Republican that you know from the hood.
Republican Lou, everybody.
Yes.
Republican Lou.
The Republican.
See, he got his own announcer.
Word. You know, like it's kind of like when Mike Tyson had that guy that was
Oh yeah, what was that? Yeah,
kept saying the champ is here or some shit. He was getting paid $100,000 a year
to say that shit. Yeah, I'd have did that shit. Shit.
Word the mother.
Damn, you know what I just found out too? I don't mean to get off script real quick, but Shakur Stevens retired.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Me neither. I wonder why though.
26 years old, just decided to say it's over, quits.
Gotta be something behind that. Some was mad nice.
Yeah.
Niggas, he was ripping them, bro. Ripping them. From the Brick City too.
Yeah. I'm like, that's wild crazy. But
could it be the dealings of Jay Prince on his life? Because you know Jay Prince was.
Oh, that was his promoter and everything. Wow, yeah, I don't know. That definitely struck me left with that one. That struck me left. Yeah, but
had at least another 10 years.
Yeah, minimal. Yeah, absolutely. Because you figure 26, you got to put a good 30, 36. You can stop, call it quits. Mm-hmm. That's wild, dumb, crazy. Wow. How was your week, man?
My week was pretty good. I can't complain about it. You know, my week has been. It just seems like everything is just so generic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the get up, go to work, go to sleep. Get up, go to work, go to sleep. Get up, go to work, go to sleep. You know,
yeah.
Everything just seems so generic, and sometimes it kind of feels like things can be like run on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when you say how was your week, it was what you know. It was. Some weeks are better than others, you know? So
yeah.
This week was just regular. Kind of just nothing too crazy and nothing highlight and nothing down low. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, no downs, no highs.
You should feel good. This is the month. It's Black History Month, y'all.
Yeah, man.
And we black and we creating history.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we created a lot.
Yeah, and still doing it every day. I think this month, do you ever feel like nostalgic?
This month, no.
For the month of, like, you never really like, every time Black History Month comes, I get like I don't know, it's like a warm feeling. I feel more and more proud to be black, even though I think you should feel that way every day, which I do. But I just say because it's a month, and I think it's because we've been down this road before. For me, I have 2 months out the year where I celebrate Black History, and that's the month of October and the month of February. So, but I feel like even though we do it every day, you know, I just feel like a more sense of ownership, and which brings us to the topic for the day.
It just kind of makes you, not to cut you off, but when Black History Month comes around, you kind of make it like, oh yeah, that's this month. Oh yeah, it's Black History. Oh, you know.
See, for me, it's like a birthday. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's like, no, I need to be more mindful. I need to be more conscious of my blackness.
No, not like that. No, not like that.
No, but it makes you like, keeps you on your point, like on P's and Q's, and you see a lot of like things on social media that say, hey, Black History, this person is that, and it was a meme that I put in our group chat where it was I forgot what those ladies' names, the sisters, the first ones to jump somebody.
Oh yeah, that was wild crazy. The first sisters that jump somebody, and they kind of look like some people we grew up with too, which is wild crazy.
But you know, just make you more conscious, I think, aware of it.
Yeah, I get you. Like, so now, what do you think about their voting state to state trying to remove Black history in the schools? And I think you see the state of Florida is already doing it, and I see some of the school boards in Missouri is trying to do it too. So, like, what's your thoughts on something like that, just as a black man?
Well, I didn't think of it until you think about it until you just said this, right? And if they take it out of the schools, right, what is really being missed? Because they wasn't really teaching you Black history in the first place. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
But, you know, it was an introduction for some who didn't know, because some people, you believe it or not, some people still don't know who invented the traffic light. All we've been taught in school, you do learn minimal. You do get They do touch on some people, but they stick with the basics. They only stick with Dr. King and Malcolm X, and they stay there.
Parks.
Yeah, Rosa Parks, Frederick Douglass,
Benjamin Banneker,
and they barely touch that. Yeah, they barely touch that. But those are the fourth. Harriet Tubman. You figure Harriet Tubman. It was would it be the History Fab Five? Right. Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman. Yeah, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks. You know what I'm saying? They stay with the Fab Five. So
but then if they remove that, right? Mm-hmm. Are they removing our history? Like, are they? Because they're giving such a generic version of such a watered down version of it. Then, if they take it out, what are you really missing?
I think you're still missing it. Because I think it's up to us. It's our culture, so it should be it should be taught in schools. However, it should definitely be taught at home.
I feel like this, right? With the society that we live in today's world, with all the technology that the way people are married to their goddamn phones and tablets and this and that, there's no way somebody should ever say they don't know nothing.
But that's just it.
There's no way there's no way you could sit here and say, "Oh, I didn't know."
But that's just it. A lot of people are not gonna dive deep into it.
Shame on them. So you leave it to the school to teach a watered down version that they wasn't getting anyway?
No, I wouldn't say that. But the introduction usually starts in school because it's not being taught at home. Let's be honest, it's not being taught at home, and we wait till 1 month out of the year to just introduce. Where we look for people to put it on television, and it should be taught. You're right, it should be taught at home, but school should implement it. I think it should be. I think we're worth being, because you got to learn about George Washington and people like that. So why not learn about your own history too?
But my thing is, Mel, I get what you're saying, and I agree to disagree, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say that is that what difference does it if they teaching you it and they're not giving you the full facts of it, right? They're not giving you, because even when they teach you about George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, they're not even giving you the Christopher Columbus. They're not even giving you the real story about them.
That's true, but you hear more about them than you hear about us. When they talk about history, you hear more about. They don't really touch on the Civil War. They'll talk about the other wars and what was the shit with George Washington?
Revolutionary War.
You hear more about that. They may go a little bit. They don't really go into like Greek mythology a little. That's more high school, college. But they basic U.S. history is George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, who was the guy, Benjamin Franklin, and things. And then they might touch. But those are all white leaders. Then they spend 1 month on Black History. You take an essay, you get an A, B, if you fail Black History, you suck. But
as an African
American, absolutely, yeah. You need that. There should be some two big ass brothers outside the class after you get the F, fucking you up. So you should get an A on that. That should be something we ace. That's probably why they want to take it out of the schools. So,
but I what good is it if it's not giving you the true version of it? You know what I'm saying? So, what would you rather have? 25% of bullshit or 100% of nothing? You understand what I'm saying? Because that's basically what it is.
Well, you look at it this way. All right, it's safe to say we went to a all black high school, correct?
Definitely.
There
wasn't even a lot of Spanish in there.
Nah, it was some, but not a lot. But I would say this. So, how was your history teacher as far as when it came to Black history?
There were a few teachers, I think, in high school that took that shit serious. Like, you understand? Like, that was their concentration. That's what they went to school for. They was dead ass. So, their name was Islamic name, and they was dead ass about history, right? And they taught it. They taught history. But at the same time, it wasn't Black history. They just taught history. And it was one of those classes where as though, hey, I'm just here to get a grade kind of thing, and didn't take it too much serious, and again, a lot of that history that was being taught, it wasn't relatable. So, you take it for what it's worth and go on about your business, because none of it you used in your day-to-day life.
No.
Like, I can't tell them motherfuckers that, oh, well, hey, my light bill is due, but guess what? George Washington was the first president. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
None of it was. Well, I must say for me, it was different. Like, okay, shout out to Mr. Cook. That was my history teacher. I think had it not been for him, I probably wouldn't be so much about my history in the way that I am now, because he enlightened us to a lot of things. He went off script when it came to talking about our Black history, but he challenged you. He would tell you, I can't go in depth in these stories because he had to keep it based on the curriculum. But he would tell you, you got to do your own homework. It's your history. Find out about your people. Get knowledge of who you are and where you come from, and why we're such a great people. You can't, a lot of people, I think part of the reason why we're so lost is because we don't know who we are. And I think that some of that, you have to go back and fact check, research, look at the people, all the great things we've done. Read a lot of those books and see how they were able to survive and navigate and get to where they are. And, because it's a lot, we all tell a story. When you look back at your life now and where you come and all the things that you've been through in your life, and you like related to like Harriet Tubman or Frederick Douglass, look at what they endured from their time to where they got to, and go look at your life. And somewhere in your life, you touched many people in a lot of different ways, and you came across a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And the point I'm getting is, when you know who you are, you know where you're going, I think you could walk proud. And you look at them as something to be proud of, because we don't know who we are.
I'm glad you kind of turned the corner with that, because I thought you was about to say that I can compare my life.
No, I'm not saying
Harriet Tubman.
No. But all right, I'm gonna go to a point.
I've been chased by a whole bunch of
we all been chased by
white motherfuckers like that.
Police. You and I both been chased. You and I both been chased.
In our neighborhood, they wasn't white. They wasn't white.
No, some of them was.
Wasn't a lot.
No, it wasn't a lot, but
projects that was
still,
white.
but some of them was, but not a lot. But no, what I mean by that is, all right, Harriet Tubman. When Harriet Tubman met Frederick Douglass, two different parts of the country, but somehow the point I'm getting is, somehow their energies connected based on what she did without a cell phone. She ran the Underground Railroad. Throughout her travels to do an Underground Railroad, he heard about her. Right. So at some point of her doing that, they used to go to his house and hide and then keep going. Right. So that only happened from energy. But that's how a lot of us connect in some way, in some form or fashion, when you push it. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. But because even again, you put the same two people. Frederick Douglass can't even talk about the shit Harriet Tubman went through, because he didn't go through that shit.
But he went through his own struggle.
Not the Harriet Tubman. The Harriet Tubman was in the trenches with this shit. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, she was in the trenches. This nigga was sitting back like.
But that wasn't his whole. That wasn't his whole life though. Yeah. His life wasn't as hard as hers, because somebody took a liking to him, and that's why his situation is different from hers. But he was fortunate. But I'm just saying that to say,
he was able to go to school.
When you strip that, well, he had somebody teach him how to read. You know what I'm saying? So that was good for him, because they thought at the time it would be cool to teach, for lack of a better term, a nigga how to read. So it would be cool if we taught him how to read. And then he grasped the concept so well, because he was so intelligent, it fucked him up too, but it also made them afraid of him.
Right. But I just... like I said, you take the shit out of the schools, you take it out of the schools. It is what it is.
You don't care nonetheless.
Not if you're giving them a watered down version of it.
But we get a watered down version of everything now anyway.
No, but you could do your ones and twos on everything that's out here. Information is available at our fingertips, and to get any information that we're looking for at our fingertips. So there's no way that you should sit here and say that, oh, I didn't know. Like I say, there's no way you can sit here and tell me that you didn't.
Well, you can say it because people not interested in looking that up on the internet on their cell phone.
Here's to my point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's to my point. Why I feel as though if they take it out, they take it out. If they don't, they don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you something. When you were in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever hear about Juneteenth?
No.
What about Tulsa, Oklahoma, where all those black millionaires lived in? Was that ever part of history?
You know what?
Did you hear about that in high school or any 12 years of schooling or 14, 15, 16 years of schooling? Whatever, how many years of schooling?
I was in school that day. Yeah.
You could have been in college.
College,
You
yeah.
went to college.
No. For being serious, Mr. Cook mentioned it, but he got off of it.
Which one?
Tulsa.
But
he said do your own homework. Because he just started, because he was one of those guys, he felt you should know that we came from greatness. But
There
he
you
said
go.
do your own homework. But you're right, they don't teach that. They don't. But again, to your point, because you just said they watered down all of history.
Yes.
So you're basically saying you think they should just alleviate history altogether. But then
because how dare you sit here and teach kids that Christopher Columbus discovered America?
Because that's their version. So we should have our own
version.
version.
Discover something where people already fucking did. Like, you didn't discover something that somebody was already did. Like, get the fuck out of here.
So then whoever was here first, whether that be black people,
indigenous people,
then they should. We in a Me Too movement. They should come up and just do away with that information because we've been misinformed.
They should. Just like they made the Redskins change their motherfucking name. Change that shit.
Yeah,
they
working.
Change that.
I think they working on the Chiefs too.
You know what they sit here and talk about how, even with Abraham Lincoln, the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the slaves or whatever, right? That shit didn't take place for years.
Yeah.
I mean, years, century. You understand what I'm saying? Like, shit just, niggas was still kept.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it had a lot to do with motherfuckers ain't know what to do, how to move around, If you let, like, all right, I don't got nothing. All I know is to work for master, work on the field, work on the house, That's all I know, because I ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? So if master let me go, what the fuck I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So I just think that if they're gonna keep it in school, keep it and teach the full version of it. Like give Black history its just due. Give it what it should be. Give it the uncut shit. Like, there should be no curriculum when it comes to Black history. People should be able to teach what they teach, their lineage, their culture, their heritage. They should be able to teach it to a culture of kids that needs to know it. And even if, and I think even if some of the other cultures knew some of the things that
was done,
they'll give them an insight on it. Maybe they won't repeat some of the things that their parents and their grandparents have done.
But I think we living in a time you can't even give it to them raw now, because there's such a time where people are so sensitive. If it's like looking at yourself in the mirror, and it's not like we've experienced it. To your point, we haven't endured nowhere near what they went through, but it's putting the mirror up against to them. And I think they're tired of hearing it. So I think that's one of the reasons why they want to take it out the curriculum. But to your point too, they don't really think it's as important. But if you feel taking it out, then you don't feel it's as important either. And I think, that's where we disagree, because I think it is important. And I think that it should be discussed in school. And I
know, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I do think that it should be discussed, but discuss what was relevant. Don't give us, this watered down version of it, right? What about that documentary that's coming out with Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah, the
Dr.
two sons,
Martin.
the two
Like,
sons of Georgia.
Those type of things.
Those are
You know
that's
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yes,
Like,
yes.
If you're gonna talk about Black history, talk about stuff like that. You
Yeah,
understand?
no, you're right.
Like when you,
but that's why something like that is a need.
Definitely,
That's a definite need.
So when you talk about the society is too sensitive, you can't give it to them raw. Don't nobody stop Sexy Red from saying the shit she say.
Yeah, another Black History moment. Yeah.
Nobody stop her from shaking her ass and doing what she want to do and say the shit she want to say. Have all these other little kids and little girls following them and doing the shit that she do.
Yeah.
So you can handle that. You can handle the truth of where we come from.
But it's not us though. That is I think it's the other people. They can't handle it because they get tired of hearing about, oh, you keep talking about slavery. You guys should be over that now. And what they don't understand is that's really not for them. It's more for us. It's not for them. It's more for us.
I think Shamani, shout out to Shamani.
Shout out to Shamani.
Shamani made a great point, right? If they ever gave reparation, right?
Which they back to real quick segue. They was asking for that when Lincoln freed the slaves. They was asking for reparation. But go ahead.
Never happened.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if they ever gave, the powers to be whoever oversees the reparation funding, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they ever gave reparation, know what that means? That means that they have to take ownership of what they done. They would never do that. They would never do it. They will always sidestep that shit. You understand? Us always sidestep it or say something to kind of make you feel better. Oh, but your niggas are doing good now, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like they'll flip it or some shit. They'll flip it and never give you your just due. Like in order for something like that to happen, they have to take accountability. They have to admit that this is what we did and it was fucked up, and that will never happen. That would never happen.
But why? That's
It's always been because, and we kind of talked about this the last time we sat together. They always had to have that superior, inferior. Always got to have that one up, that one leg up. Because if we keep our leg up or keep our foot on your neck, right, then you would never feel like you could ever achieve or be better than what you are. So we got to keep our foot on your neck. We're going to always be the gatekeepers to everything that always going to be. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck. You could build something from brand new, from ground up, from the scratch. Shit never heard, never seen before. But guess what? You got to bring it to somebody with some money to give you, to let it through.
Yeah, I again, I think that it all starts with us. More importantly, I think it starts with us. Aside from the reparations part, I think we have to be more unified when it comes to our culture if we know what our culture is.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and
we don't.
Yeah, but that's
we got a watered down version of
us.
Our own goddamn culture,
and
and
that's the thing. So that's why I guess for me, I embrace hip hop so much. The hip hop that I know, I embrace it so much because the fundamentals of hip hop should never change. Somewhere it shifted, but the fundamentals of hip hop is what I know. So I embrace that as my culture, and it serves me well. So I just think like you gotta find who you are, where you come from, but it's important to know your history because our history is beautiful. Our history is great, and our history is impactful. Our history is soul. So I don't know, but I think it's important to have it in schools. But the real question that I have is, let's say they remove it. They remove it. Grant your grandkids. I think if you take it out the schools, I don't think you alleviate. I don't think it gets erased altogether because I think as long as we're alive, it's always going to be known that we have created history. I think that's always going to be documented. So to your point, I understand where you're going with that, but I still think it should stay in schools because I think it does impact us in a way where if you take it out of schools altogether, what's that saying about us? Because you keeping everything else in. They haven't taken anything. Well, from what I know, they have not taken out. They have not taken out the Spanish Inquisition and what's that? The Mayans and all that.
They don't have a Spanish month. What they do, towards the end of the school year, it is like Spanish Heritage Month and all that stuff. But my thing is this, and I had a good point I was about to make. That's the point I was about to make, right? So think about this, right? And this is why I tell you, like, what good is it keeping it in if you're not gonna give all the shit that makes sense, all the shit that's inspiring, all the shit that's make you be like, oh damn, we did that, like, oh hell yeah, right? It's like, think about the movie Hidden Figures.
Mm-hmm.
Black women and NASA.
But see, you can't.
NASA wouldn't never want you to know nothing about that.
But that's the thing. You can only pick so many people. They're condensing everything in 1 month in the school.
But
so
learning is all the time.
No, I know that. But how can you fit that in the curriculum? Even if you did it for a year, you couldn't squeeze all that in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? No. So they picked. Now the question you should be asked is, why did they pick who they picked and made them the representative? Like, why did they pick Dr. King? Why did they pick Malcolm X? You know what I'm saying? So
because they were you had to pick them
because you still got Madam C.J. Walker.
You had to pick them because their deaths were so publicized.
No, I get that part.
Them.
But Rosa Parks. And I forget. There was a woman. I'm gonna post this too. There was somebody who actually did it before her, right. and didn't get acknowledged. So, but my thing was, why her?
Well, she was. I wonder what the other lady looked like, because Rosa Parks was fairly light.
I think she probably was darker.
Bag,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The other chick was probably dark.
Yeah.
Get your black ass out of here. No,
she's unsafe. Yeah.
But even now, right? I'm telling you, this shit is. Racism is real. That shit is still happening to this day.
Definitely.
It is real, right? And think about in the NFL today, right? Who you would think? I was listening to this the other day, and they said, "Who do you think is the face of the NFL today?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
They said Patrick Mahomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I get you that, right? But the face of football today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that this Joker is about to get MVP probably this season, gotten it before.
Mm-hmm.
But how many commercials have you seen him in? None. Lamar Jackson.
None. At least I don't have Baltimore
no endorsements.
TV. Oh, he has no endorsements?
Have you seen him in anything? Nothing.
He gotta have some endorsements though. We gotta check that.
Patrick Mahomes is ripping them.
Yeah. National. Well, he has national endorsements. Yeah. He has national endorsements.
Have you known anyone to been an MVP of any league or any sport that didn't get national recognition?
Well, no. I haven't seen any national. But see, can you blame his agent, or can you honestly say
his mother is his agent?
Mom got to do a better job.
But no, I don't think it has anything to do with his representation.
You think
as
it's
his
his skin color? Well, I kind of see where you're going, because Dak Prescott got it, and he's like, I'm trying to think of somebody dark who I know.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, like.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They all passing.
Not trying to be a stereotype, but Lamar Jackson do look like he'll rob you. He do look like.
And they feel like the nigga can't talk. The nigga can't talk.
Yeah, he do look like.
If you feel as though he can't talk, right?
Yeah.
And you feel as though he may say, may pronounce words wrong and enunciate things incorrectly.
Like then Leon Spinks.
Do him like a little Penny. Remember Lil Penny for Penny Hardaway?
Yeah.
Make him a little character.
Yeah.
You know, but at least let his face be seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta look that up. People, please chime in with your thoughts. At goinvocal@gmail.com, GOINVOCAL@gmail.com.
Yo, listen, the gatekeepers is real, man. Them niggas is not letting them darkies. You darkies ain't getting in the forefront of nothing.
I have to see. Bo Jackson was dark skinned and he had endorsements. So that's what I'm saying. I just think I think
MJ.
Yeah, I think sometimes it takes a while, but I think sometimes it could be his agent one it definitely could be his image because the way his hair management is horrible. So
look at Jay-Z.
Yeah, but he's who he is now though. But before he was clean cut. So he didn't come in like that. So he established himself. But all right. So we gonna leave with this, and then we could close out. I do have one question. I had to text this. What can we contribute to keep our legacy alive?
Self-education, and I think being accountable for our part in our own culture. Just being accountable, right? Meaning that, if I see somebody, a young kid, or even my kid, even my daughter, teach her what I know she's not getting, and it's all white school. I know you're not getting this there. You understand what I'm saying? They just doing it to appease the few that are here. You understand what I'm saying? So just being accountable for my culture and making sure that I play my part. That's what I can do and say. And stop. And I think another thing too, and it's real brief, is not to be we tear each other down too much.
Yeah, I agree with that. We do. We have to build each other up. I agree. I co-sign everything you just said. And I'm gonna add just one thing to it. Again, you mentioned it earlier in the show. There's a documentary that's coming out called Two Sons of Georgia. I think it's a must see. Shout out to the brother Hafiz Fareed and his partner Shelly. They did an awesome job. Shout out to Dorian. I think that it's a must see if you want to know just a part of who we are, where we come from, and what great things we've done. You definitely need to see that documentary because it's about two great men in a relationship that a lot of us probably didn't know even existed at that time. So I think it's definitely a must see. So look that up. It's called The Two Sons of Georgia. You can look at twosonsofgeorgia.com and you can see the trailer. But it's a great documentary. I highly recommend it, especially at this time of year, Black History Month. If you like me, you celebrate it twice a year. In October, you got 31 days of that. So and you should watch it twice a year if that's the case. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have it get your shit together other than know who you are. And because that's more important. Know who you are. Be who you are. Be a leader. Don't be a follower. Be yourself and don't be ashamed of being yourself.
I think my get your shit together would go out to all these gatekeepers, right? If you have the power and ability to uplift someone in your own culture, then do it. Why are you afraid to let that light shine? And if you're a gatekeeper and that's hating on people and stopping people from being their best version of themselves, then you really need to get your shit together.
You do.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you got where you at for a reason, right? You got there because whatever you've done to get to that point or get there. And, so don't hate on the next person. It wasn't easy for you to get there. So
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Don't hate on the next person. Allow that person to shine and be great. That's all.
Exactly. And on that note, I'm your man, Jam C.
It's the Republican Lou.
Shout out to Shy Money once again.
Shy $, Shy Food Stamp. Go by all those. Shy
right.
EBT.
All right. And we have officially Goin Vocal. Peace.
Peace.
Everybody tune into the Pod Squad now.